And welcome to the special edition of Hannity. So during the 2016 campaign, President-elect Donald Trump, he crisscrossed the country explaining to you, the American people, the voters, what he would do if elected. Tonight, for the full hour, we'll examine some of Donald Trump's promises like these. Let's take a look.
We will build a great wall and stop the drugs from pouring into our country and poisoning our youth. Every day, the law known as Obamacare is destabilizing our health care. That is why we'll repeal and replace Obamacare. We have no choice.
It's time to shake the rust off America's foreign policy. It's time to invite new voices and new visions into the fold.
We will reestablish the rule of law and appoint justices to the Supreme Court of the United States who will uphold and defend our Constitution. We're going to drain the swamp of corruption in Washington, D.C. We are going to make America great again, greater than ever before.
Now let's start with one of the major topics that got Americans fired up on the campaign trail, immigration. President-elect Trump, he promised he'd build a wall, deport criminal, illegal immigrants, and more. Take a look. Let's start with, I guess, your signature issue on immigration, which is you are going to build the wall.
Yeah, 100%.
And I see that who's going to pay for the wall? All right. Here's...
Well, you know,
here's my question.
What has been interesting, I've been watching over the last week or two, and they've been saying, oh, well, maybe he won't build the wall, maybe he won't.
Jeb Bush said that. Jeb Bush said he'll never build the wall.
Well, he said that a long time ago. I think people now realize we're building the wall. It's going to happen. It's 100%. It's simple. You know, I tell the story all the time. The Great Wall of China, 13,000 miles long. This is 1,000 miles, and we have Caterpillar tractors to build, okay? This is 1,000 miles. It's 2,000, but we need 1,000. And it's so easy to do. And it gets higher and higher and higher every time somebody says, I'm not going to do it.
Here's an important question. I think the time frame, if you get elected President of the United States of America, how... Okay. According to the crowd, when...
When.
Yeah. But here's my question. How long would it take you to build that wall? Start to finish. You're a builder.
I'm very good at it, almost immediately. Now, if you would believe it, you know, they were going to build the wall a while ago, not so long ago, like in '06, and they couldn't get environmental impact statements. Can you believe it? Okay. Now, we got lucky because it was such a little wall, it was such a nothing wall. No, they couldn't get their environment. Probably a snake was in the way, or a toad, or
a turtle,
something, or
could have been a
something
turtle
that you probably never heard of.
Yeah.
But something was in the way. And you think of China, in the South China Sea, they're building this massive fortress. They're building this massive military fortress, and they're digging that water. They're digging. And you know what happened? They said, let's do it on Sunday, and on Monday morning they started. Mm-hmm. So in our case, look, that wall's going to start very quickly. I got, as you know, and we have a lot of the Border Patrol. We have a lot of the Border Patrol agents here tonight, and we have 16,500 Border Patrol agents. They know the border better than anybody. Their job is much easier without Trump, because all they have to do is let everyone just keep going by. These are unbelievable people. They see what's happening. They see what's coming in, and they want it stopped. They want people to come in, but they want the people to be vetted. So here's the story. So they endorsed me. First time in the history of the Border Patrol agents that they've endorsed anybody. One other thing we have to say, and Mexico will pay for the wall. They're going to pay for the wall.
Let me ask you about Vicente Fox, by the way, the current president of Mexico said he would meet with you. Will you meet with him?
Yeah, sure. I'd meet with him.
You would?
Absolutely. I'd meet with him.
They're not going to write you a check. How do you get them to pay for the wall?
Well, there are many ways. Look, on trade, they're absolutely killing us. They're killing us. They're killing us at the border. They're killing us on trade. We have a trade deficit with Mexico of close to $60 billion a year. So right there, you can build the wall because the wall's a fraction of that. So, you know, right there.
Here's my next question.
We lose. We lose a fortune on trade, and that doesn't include the drugs that are pouring across the border, which is probably double or triple or something.
I have covered the border now for years on this program. I've been from the Rio Grande to San Diego and everywhere in between 12 times.
Right.
I've been down to, I have seen drug warehouses. I have seen tunnels. We'll show some of the pictures. My next question is, and this is where you seem to, in the last week, be revisiting the issue of sending everybody back that is here illegally. Tell us where you stand on that.
We want to follow the laws. You know, we have very strong laws. We have very strong laws in this country. And I don't know if you know, but Bush and even Obama sends people back. Now, we can be more aggressive in that, but we want to follow the laws. If you start going around trying to make new laws in this country, it's a process that's brutal. We want to follow the laws of the country, and if we follow the laws, we can do what we have to do. But John, let me tell you, so important. We've got some great people in this country. They shouldn't be here. They're still great people, all right? But we've got some really, really bad gang members and some horrible people.
Start with them.
Those people are going out day one. They're going to be the first order I sign. They're going out day one.
All right, but I know this question has come up a lot. What about people that work hard, have been here a long time, they own homes, they have their property? And this is a question everyone's going to want answered. What about them? Do they have to go back, or would you reconsider that?
We are going to follow the laws of the country.
So that means they go back.
Follow the laws. And we're going to see who people are. We're going to see how they've done. Do you believe in a merit system, Sean? When people come in, as an example, do you believe in a merit system? One of the things that's very unfair with leaving people is that you have years and years of people waiting online. They've gone through a process, and they filed legally. They filed, and they're great people in some cases. I guess in some cases, maybe not. But you have really great people wanting, and so proudly wanting, to come into a country. And now what you'd be doing is you'd take people away from that line. And it's really
Is there any part of the law that you might be able to change that would accommodate those people that contribute to society, have been law-abiding, have kids here? Would there be any room in your mind, or you, because I know you had a meeting this week with Hispanic leaders.
I did. I had a meeting with great people, great Hispanic leaders, and there certainly can be a softening, because we're not looking to hurt people. We want people. We have some great people in this country. We have some great people in this country. So, but we're going to follow the laws of this country. And you know, we have, what people don't realize, we have very strong laws.
Yeah, but Obama doesn't follow them.
No, they don't follow them. Yeah. But we're going to follow the laws.
We have 11.3 million illegal immigrants in the country now. Now, you said immediately last night, all criminal aliens out, day one. Correct? All right. Now,
by the way, that one's so simple. You know, there are some things where you sort of feel bad, and this one with we have these killers in this country.
Right.
They're heading up gangs. You go out, exactly.
They lost their children right here behind you.
I mean, those guys, if we ever find them, if I'm president, oh, we're going to be trouble. Such trouble. To fix our immigration system, we must change our leadership in Washington, and we must change it quickly. Sadly, there is no other way. The truth is, our immigration system is worse than anybody ever realized. But the facts aren't known because the media won't report on them. The politicians won't talk about them. And the special interests spend a lot of money trying to cover them up because they are making an absolute fortune. That's the way it is. Today, on a very complicated and very difficult subject, you will get the truth. The fundamental problem with the immigration system in our country is that it serves the needs of wealthy donors, political activists, and powerful politicians. It's all you can do. Thank you. Thank you. Let me tell you who it does not serve.
It does not serve you, the American people. Doesn't serve you. When politicians talk about immigration reform, they usually mean the following: amnesty, open borders, lower wages. Immigration reform should mean something else entirely. It should mean improvements to our laws and policies to make life better for American citizens. We will terminate the Obama administration's deadly, and it is deadly, non-enforcement policies that allow thousands of criminal aliens to freely roam our streets, walk around, do whatever they want to do, crime all over the place. That's over. That's over, folks. That's over. Since 2013 alone, the Obama administration has allowed 300,000 criminal aliens to return back into United States communities. These are individuals encountered or identified by ICE, but who were not detained or processed for deportation because it wouldn't have been politically correct. My plan also includes cooperating closely with local jurisdictions to remove criminal aliens immediately. We will restore the highly successful Secure Communities program, good program. We will expand and revitalize the popular 287G partnerships, which will help to identify hundreds of thousands of deportable aliens in local jails that we don't even know about. Both of these programs have been recklessly gutted by this administration, and those were programs that worked. This is yet one more area where we are headed in a totally opposite direction. There's no common sense, there's no brain power in our administration by our leader or our leaders. None, none, none. On my first day in office, I am also going to ask Congress to pass Kate's Law, named for Kate Steinle, to ensure that criminal aliens convicted of illegal reentry receive strong, mandatory minimum sentences. Strong. And then we get them out. Another reform I'm proposing is the passage of legislation named for Detective Michael Davis and Deputy Sheriff Danny Oliver, two law enforcement officers recently killed by a previously deported illegal immigrant. The Davis-Oliver bill will enhance cooperation with state and local authorities to ensure that criminal immigrants and terrorists are swiftly, really swiftly, identified and removed. And they will go fast. Believe me, they're going to go fast. We are going to triple the number of ICE deportation officers. Within ICE, I am going to create a new special deportation task force focused on identifying and quickly removing the most dangerous criminal illegal immigrants in America who have evaded justice, just like Hillary Clinton has evaded justice, okay? Our immigration, that is my policy on immigration, is so simple. We will restore the civil rights of African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and all Americans by ending illegal immigration. And yes, we will build the wall. We will build the wall.
And we're going to stop the inflow, the massive inflow of drugs, which is coming into your community more than any community, but coming into your community and poisoning our youth and poisoning many other people, but poisoning our youth. I will reform visa rules to give American workers preference for jobs, and I will suspend reckless refugee admissions from terror-prone regions that cost taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars.
And coming up next on this special edition of Hannity.
If we don't act, the damage will be irreversible. We're going to act. That is why we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. We have no choice. We have no choice. We have absolutely no choice.